All right, guys, without further ado, we got my main man, Timothy Bradley, on the show. Let's give him a round of applause. Give him about a round of applause.
Coach, what up? What's up, Coach? What's good, man?
Man, Tim, what's going on, fam? Hold on. I got to put your name on the screen so everybody know it's you. Man, what's going on, Tim, man? Good news or what?
Heck yeah. I heard the contract ain't signed, but I mean, they got a verbal agreement so far, so I'm excited about it.
Well, according to Steven Espinosa, he said that contracts, when they normally do fights, this is what he said. When they normally do fights, contracts don't get signed until like the week of the fight. I have an interview where he actually said that.
Yeah, that happened. There was one time where I didn't sign my contract until the week of when I was facing Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao didn't sign his contract to the week of too.
Okay. So even though the contracts haven't been signed, as you just stated, there was times where you and Pacquiao signed the contracts week of the fight. That doesn't mean that the fight is not happening. That's just something that happens in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, that's something that happens. Okay. Both guys have verbally agreed to signing the contracts. They're getting the contract ready or whatnot. But the contracts will be signed, whether it's the week of. Once they start that promotional tour, there's no turning back, bro.
When do you think they're going to start the promotional tour, Tim? Because nothing has been official by the PBC nor Showtime as of yet.
You just got to wait and see. I don't know exactly when. You just got to wait and see. Once they start the tour, then that's when it gets real. That's when it gets real. So, once people start investing money in flights and hotels and getting them to different places to, to tour around the nation, that's when it gets real. So, until then, we just, hold our breath. Hopefully not too long, and they get the ball rolling.
I just hope no one gets into a car accident. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna throw that out there.
You ain't right.
I'm just throw that out there. Hey, listen, Tim. This has been a long time coming. I don't know if you've been watching it online. I got to the point where I did not like speaking about Crawford and Spence online because, and the boxing community online, it was like a civil war, so to speak, with the same group of people. You had Team Spence, you had Team Crawford, and Team Spence was against Team Crawford. I remember a lot of those guys. I call them the alphabet boys and stuff like that. But a lot of these black content creators, I'm gonna say that. They called the guy. He's Uncle Tom. Said Crawford was a coon. Bob Aaron was a slave master. These race hustle guys. He was a slave master. Top rankers of plantation. But then when Devin Haney goes over there, he's not. None of that exists anymore. So these guys are saying sign the contract. 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, take whatever we give you. What I wanted to ask you was this. In your years of being a professional fighter, and now you're an analyst and retired Hall of Famer, have you ever taken advice from online managers? We call them managers, online YouTube accountants. Have you ever, do you advise fighters to take advice about their business careers and stuff like that from people like that online, these online accountants and managers and promoters?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You got to do what's right for you. They're not in your shoes. It's easy to point the finger and try to guide somebody or think you know what you're talking about, but most of the time they don't know what they're talking about. They think they know what they're talking about. But no, as a fighter, no, you gotta listen to the team that's around you, that's there to protect you. You got to think about what you're doing, and you can't lift a finger unless the contract is right. Because once you get into that contract, bro, there's no turning back. Once you sign that contract, there's no turning back, man. So everything has to be right for both sides. It took a little while, for both these guys to get on the same page, but they're finally here, man. It's finally here, and I'm thankful for it. But I wanna say something, man. I got hit up by my bro Andre Ward yesterday, and he was saying that he said, "Tim, you owe me an apology." And I said, "For what?" He was just like, "Because you said that I was crazy for thinking that this fight was going to happen." I said, "Well, man, look, I had to put some fire on somebody, under somebody behind. I had to call guys out, and particularly it was Errol Spence. I do know Crawford. and I know Crawford, and I spoke with him personally, and I know he wanted to fight. And I'm seeing all these other fights being made that is PBC and Top Rank getting made. But I don't see the Spence fight being moved and pushed that hard. So, you know, I want to say, RJ Ward, you was right. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that I spoke out and said that it wasn't gonna happen. Fans, it's happening. Let's again cross our fingers. Let's hope to that day come. But you know, at the end of the day, man, I just want to say to all the Spence fans out there, hey, I was putting the match underneath his behind, man. I was trying to force your man to do whatever it took to get the fight done. No, Spence wasn't scared. He wasn't scared. You know, I just figured that, hey, I got to push the needle a little bit further in, so that way he won't, you know, he'll make the fight. Just put it that way. The fight will get made. So I want to apologize to all the Spence fans out there for my remarks and so on and so forth. But yo, I will tell you this. Let me tell you this, though, Coach. Spence going down, bro. Spence is going down. I ain't gonna apologize about that one. I'm telling you right now, Spence is going down, and I know the Spence fans gonna tune in and they gonna get all upset. But I'm gonna tell you, you know, let me tell you why he gonna go down. He ain't on Crawford's level when it comes to skill. Crawford has more skills than Spence. Everybody continues talking about the power of Errol Spence. The power. Errol Spence couldn't knock out 140 pounds. Okay, and Mikey Garcia. Stop playing. When you think he's gonna go and knock out Crawford, please. Y'all need to save that. Crawford can counterpunch the hell out of Spence, and he will counterpunch the hell out of Spence. Spence will open up a whole lot of opportunities because of his pressure. You know, you got to understand that pressure fighters, yes, they don't like volume fighters, but when you make mistakes, that's what they like. He's gonna capitalize on all the mistakes that Errol Spence makes, because he does. Errol Spence makes a ton of mistakes. Yes, he is the disciplined, you know, jab first, you know, straight 1-2, you know, dig down to the body. He's predictable, though, Coach. As you know, he's predictable. You know what he's going to do. Jab, right hand. Right, and Spence don't counter off his back foot. Spence don't counter off his back foot like Crawford does. So Crawford doesn't invite him in. And once Crawford takes that jab away from him, I said, it's going to be a wrap. I'm telling you, it's going to be a wrap. He's going to catch Spence in between those shots. He's going to catch him. He's going to hurt him. He damn near might even knock him out towards the back end of the fight. And I know y'all been hearing that a lot from a lot of different analysts. But it's the truth. And, you know, we don't know until the fight happens, but trust me, when I do my breakdowns and I look at these fights, man, these particular fights, man, and I see the advantages on both sides, this is what I see. Now, I could be wrong. Spence can go in there and just milly walk the hell out of Crawford, put the pressure on him and make him fold. I don't know. But I can tell you this, me knowing Crawford and knowing how competitive he is and knowing what he brings to the table, shit. I'm telling you right now, guys, y'all don't be surprised if he stops Errol Spence. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, I got Crawford by knockout about the 10th round. That's what I'm picking. What do you know? I see now that Michael Benson reported, Tim, that both guys are getting guaranteed money. Now, I don't like talking about money. The reason why is because I don't know the knowledge, the ins and outs in boxing like you do, because you are actually an actual fighter. People who do this every day, you've seen business, you've seen on the boxing contracts, you know the language, the lingo, you know what types of attorneys you need in order to negotiate these types of deals. Us online, we don't know that. We don't have any experience with that. A lot of us have minimum wage jobs, and not me myself, but a lot of dudes have minimum wage jobs. That's why it always befuddles me when, you know, guys trying to give multimillionaires, you know, financial advice when, you know, you get what I'm saying? But I say all that to say this. Both of these guys, according to Mike Carpenter, are getting guaranteed money. Both of them are getting 8 figures. So, in your opinion, did Crawford do the right thing now? He took the David Avanesian fight instead of waiting around once he found out that the fight was going to happen in 2023. You know, when you sit back and look at it now, he got a lot of flack for that. But when I sit back and look at it now, I'm like, damn, that was the best thing he could have did, because he got paid for that fight. And then now he's in the process of him and Spencer getting ready to fight each other in July. and now they're getting guaranteed money when before it was 80-20, no guarantee, take whatever we give you, you know what I mean? So now he's getting an 8-figure guarantee, and Errol Spence is getting an 8-figure guarantee. What say you about that, how that played out?
I think it played out in favor of Crawford. I think Crawford did right by not signing that first contract. Once you get that first contract, you ain't supposed to sign that first contract.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to sign that, man. It's called negotiation.
Yeah.
And the fact that Crawford stood by his decision, because once you make that decision, man, you got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
He's been out of the ring for some time, and he had set up a fight with Avanesian, made some bread there, but the better part about that, it's not about the money, it's about the activity. Spence ain't been in the ring since August. It's been some time since he's been in the ring, man.
Yeah,
whereas Crawford, Crawford was just in the ring not too long ago. So Crawford gonna be sharp. That's the only thing that kind of boggles me a bit is that the inactivity of Spence, and would that be a problem? But then I look at his track record. Spence ain't been busy, man. Go back. I think 2019 or so. I think he's had maybe 2-3 fights.
Yeah.
If that, yeah.
There
ain't been much activity. But his last performance against Uga was wow. His last performance against Ugas was unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It was unreal what he was able to do to Ugas. Being out of the ring for that long, coming back, being as strong as he was, and having the condition he had, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it had my freaking eyebrows going like, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. How do you do that? Damn, he looks good. So no telling what Spence can do, man. Look, it's a man that survived that car accident, man. He ain't supposed to be here. He's special. He's definitely a special human being. So I like the fact that Crawford got that fight in. It should help him in the fight. As far as negotiations goes, I don't know what they negotiated. I'm glad that they both getting now an exact figure, which is great. Just the pay-per-view numbers got to be right. That's it. So everybody can make money.
Would you say this fight is more so for the? I feel like this is a fight for us hardcore boxing fans. I feel like, okay, we got the Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. That was more for TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, that audience. But I feel like this fight with Crawford and Spence, this is more for the hardcore fans. They would probably be more excited about it. What say you about that?
I agree with that. I agree. It's more for the hardcore fans. I think you will get some casuals that tune in, especially if it's promoted right. Which PBC, they do a good job of promoting the fight, getting these guys looked at. I really did like that whole YouTube thing, bringing in YouTubers and all that. Man, that kind of boosted the sales. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see something like that in this promotion, but absolutely, I think it's more for the hardcore fans, but the casuals will tune in, and I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers will do. To be honest with you, I don't know. I'm hoping it does great numbers, for both these guys' careers, and for the business of boxing, but no telling, man. I don't know what the pay-per-view number is going to be. So I'm saying maybe 500, maybe a little bit more than that, 600 maybe. But if it's $1 million, that's great. If it's anything over 500, that's great too.
What do you know about? I'm hearing that according to what Mike Carpenter put out there, that Crawford is getting. We all know that Al Heyman is the advisor, so to speak, quote unquote, to a lot of the PBC fighters, Errol Spence, stuff like that. So Terence Crawford had an advisor as well. His name is Ish Henson. He works for CAA Sports Agency. What do you know about that agency, CAA Sports Agency? That's who Crawford.
I don't know anything. To be honest, I don't know anything about that agency. I don't know too much of Crawford's business and how he operates as far as that goes. I've seen him before. I said hi in the past to the gentleman, but I don't know anything about that agency.
That whoever it is, he did real good in getting things worked out for Crawford. Now I haven't heard anything from Floyd Mayweather. Like I said before, Tim, Timothy Bradley, hell of a fighter, and he's a hell of a fighter. But we haven't heard anything from Floyd. Floyd said that until you hear it from me, don't believe anything anyone says. That's what he said to Fight Hype last year. He said, if you don't hear it from me, you know what I mean? Don't listen to Mike Carpenter. Yeah. Don't listen to no one. If you don't hear it from me or Fight Hype, don't believe it. What say you about that? We haven't heard anything from Floyd. So, could this just be smoke and mirrors, this announcement?
Man, I don't know, man. Like I told you, I don't know. Listen, I'm holding my breath because, we've gotten this far. I don't think we've gotten this far before. But I mean, when Floyd Mayweather says something, man, you gotta listen because he don't be lying. He don't be lying when I'm telling you, he don't be lying, man.
Don't be lying,
no, he don't be lying. He be backing up everything he be saying. So, we just gotta wait and see, man. We just gotta wait and see. Again, once that promotional tour starts, man, that's when it gets real.
Popping. So, I see Crawford selling T-shirts on his website.
Crawford has his own spot too, up in Omaha. So he has his own spot where he sells all this stuff at. So Crawford doing his thing, man. Crawford is doing his thing. He's a smart businessman. He's doing his thing, man. When he leaves boxing, he ain't gonna never have to return. Ever have to return. His kids, and his kids' kids, and his kids' kids, they all gonna have money. Crawford family gonna have money for years to come. So he's doing his thing, man.
Well, so the pivot a little bit, Tim. Let's talk about Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko. Now, Tim, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't heard the commentating because when I do fight parties, I have the volume down. That's so I can just focus on the fight. I always do this. And then I went back and rewatched it with the volume down just to look and see, just to really look and focus on it. Now I'm gonna rewatch the fight again, with the volume. A lot of people said that the commentating, particularly you and Andre Ward. I don't know if they said Drake, but from what I'm hearing, they said that it seemed like the commentating was pro Loma. What say you about that? Because I haven't heard it, but I'm going to go back and listen to
it. When people don't want to hear what they want to hear, when people have things invested, when people like money, for instance, even they're fan of that person, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, I could talk about Loma. I could talk about Haney. We can go back and forth, and it ain't never good enough. Right. So, I just pretty much call what I see. Dre was heavy on. I remember listening. Dre was heavy on Haney and what he was doing early on. And then I was talking about speaking on Lomachenko and what he's doing and what I'm going to see or what we possibly may see later in the fight, which end up happening, by the way. So, we mix it up.
Yeah.
We try not to be as heavy on one fighter. If Dre is heavy on one guy, it was just, I remember the fight beforehand. We had Lopez versus Oscar Valdez. And Dre was heavy on Valdez, but I was talking about Lopez and what he was doing because you got to understand that Lopez has fans too.
Yeah.
And they want to hear some of the things he's doing and what he's doing well.
Right.
It's also, when he's landing shots, he's just landed a 4-piece combination. But if nobody's talking about the 4-piece combination, but we keep talking about Oscar Valdez, then that's biasy. That's the bias right there. Is everybody's saying, oh, it's so biased, it's so biased. So, we try to mix and match, bro. We try to go, just Dre is heavy on one guy, and I'm heavy on the other guy, and we go back and forth. If there's particular rounds, and you will see, I think it was in like the 4th round where Haney completely won the round. We both was on Haney. And if you go like to the 9th and the 10th round where Loma dominated, we both was on Loma. So, you can't please everybody, man. At the end of the day, I think that this fight, the result of this fight depended basically on what Loma was able to get away with or able to do. So I was really paying attention to what Loma was doing and trying to set up. And I was paying attention to the fact that every time you see Loma pull forward or push forward, that's when things got really dangerous for Haney.
That's true.
When
I know
Loma was on his back foot, Haney was controlling everything. He was controlling the range. He was hitting him with body shots. He was hitting him with counters. He was able to catch Loma in between. When Loma tried to attack, he was able to fight off his back foot and then counter back. So, I was just making it known that, hey, this thing will get interesting later on because Lomachenko was able to close the distance on Haney towards the end of that first round. And I'm like, that's not a good thing for Haney. That's not a good thing at all. Understand this, and I know the strengths and weaknesses of both guys.
Right.
I understand that Haney don't like a whole lot of pressure. He likes to have his space. So when Loma got close, I knew things would get difficult for him. And then I also know that Loma, he doesn't really counterpunch off his back foot. So if you press him back and you're making him react to you, you can dominate him from the outside. You can have the judges or trick the judges that you winning just by bagging them up, throwing punches, whether they landing or not. And the judge is going to be like, oh, okay, he's the aggressor. Effective aggression. So, at the end of the day, man, I'm not going to be able to please everybody. Same thing with my commentary, same things with my comments that I say. But it is what it is, man. I don't really pay too much attention to it, man. I do read the comments and stuff because I want to know what the fans are saying. But at the end of the day, man, ain't nothing I can do about it, bro.
Hey, Tim, it seemed like that was a very, very pro Loma crowd. I think Devin Haney resides in Las Vegas. I think that's their home they're fighting out of. I know he's not from there, but yet and still. So I think I'm not, it was a pro Loma crowd. I noticed that, they loved Loma. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Tim. I did bring up the fact that, what kind of made me a little upset with you and Teddy Atlas. I feel like I was praising Lomachenko too much, but I'm not gonna lie to you, Tim. I owe you an apology. I saw the white Jesus. I saw the white Jesus moment Saturday when Lomachenko fought Devin Haney, bruh. The way he was getting around that weak side and shooting that straight left, he was started timing the Haney in that 10th and 11th round. I looked in the sky. I saw sun rays breaking through the clouds. I saw a halo. I saw a silhouette. I saw the wings. I heard the angels singing hymns. And I'm like, what the hell, bro? The 10th and 11th round, in particular, those two rounds, Lomachenko was throwing punches from some crazy-ass angles to the point to where I thought that it was 3 Lomachenkos in there.
Yeah.
And I saw the look in Devin Haney's eyes. He got real wide-eyed. And that 11th round, he was trying to get the hell up out of there. He was trying to get somewhere, but he couldn't time him. He was throwing punches.
Nope.
But man, I'm like, oh my! But the way he was getting around that weak side, and I said, oh, this what they talking about. Oh, this what I you know what I mean? This what they talking about. That dude was so light. He's so light on his feet. And I say, man, God damn, bro, I don't know how Devin Haney made it out of the 11th round. I don't know how he made it out of the 11th round, bro, because he got hit with everything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What say you about that? I owe you an apology. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I saw it. I saw it, bro. I saw it Saturday night, that 10th and 11th round. I'm like, boy, goddamn, boy. What the hell?
Look,
I saw the Matrix. I saw the Matrix.
This is the thing, man. Well, this is what happens. Because I had to live this when I fought Manny Pacquiao in 2012.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao is the type of fighter that mesmerizes the mind of women. And he was legendary. He was a icon. I don't think Loma's on that same level as Pacquiao, but he's damn near. He's known for his footwork. It was a pro Loma crowd, and anything he did, just like in the Pacquiao fight, anything he did, it was praised. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow! Did you see the combination? This and that.
Yeah.
So this is a similar situation that Haney is going through. Manny Pacquiao, instead of Manny Pacquiao, was Lomachenko, who was the favorite in many people's eyes, in the public eyes, not in the bettor's eyes, but in the public eyes. He was beloved. Everybody wanted him to win, especially after that push that Haney did on him.
Yeah.
Haney instantly became a villain. So, the crowd was pro Lomachenko. But the thing I'm trying to say is that it's easily, when you see Lomachenko do something, your eyes just go directly towards that.
Yeah.
it's easy for that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, I was so fast. Wow, how did he move like that? Just as you saying right now.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at the fight, and this is what these judges were doing, they were looking at the fight. They weren't being mesmerized by what Lomachenko was doing. Mm-hmm. They were looking at the fight, the actual fight, the intricacies going back and forth, you know, by both these guys. There was some, like you said earlier, early rounds, you know, Haney was on top. The later rounds, Lomachenko was on top. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that. 2 definitive rounds I had for both guys. The rest in between were swing rounds. A lot of them could have went left. It could have went right. It could have went to Haney. It could have went to Lomachenko. Yeah. It just depended on what the judges wanted to see. You understand? What the judges was looking at the end of the day. And obviously, they was looking at those body shots that Haney was landing. And they was looking at Haney being the aggressor, coming forward, dictating the pace. You know what I mean? So he got the nod for some of those rounds. And the scorecards, I thought the fight was a draw. People saying I'm retracting what I said. I ain't retract anything because I ain't never said who I thought won. Mm-hmm. Not 1 second did I say on the broadcast, oh, man, Lomachenko should have won, or, oh, man, Haney won the fight. I didn't say anything about the decision. All I said is that, dang, this sucks because I know what this young man's going to have to go through now. Mm-hmm. He got this close decision, but I know what's coming next. His name's going to get drugged through the mud. People going to call him a fake champion.
Yeah.
I've experienced this.
Yeah.
This is going to suck for him. You know what I mean? Because a win is not going to feel like a win for Haney. You know? And I see people coming out the woodwork and they taking Haney's they jumping on Haney and saying that he won the fight. I get that, but it ain't a whole lot of people.
Yeah,
it's not a whole lot of people saying that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know what he's going to deal with. So, like, Haney won the fight, but his stock somewhat dropped because people don't believe in him. People thought that Lomachenko won the fight. So, it's hard. It's going to be hard for Haney, man, moving forward. It is. And that's the reason why I keep saying rematch. They got to do a rematch. And I understand that Haney is a big guy and, you know, he's outgrown the weight class or whatever. You made it, Haney. You made it this time. You made it look easy. Go ahead and do it again. And trust me, Haney will be a better fighter from the first time. No doubt. Because when he fought Kambosos, he came with a different game plan and he was able to execute that.
Right.
And look even better. I think he can do the same thing with Lomachenko. He can come back and look even better than he did this time and dominate Lomachenko in good fashion, to where everybody will say, oh, yeah, he won this fight. No doubt about it.
Tim, so a lot of people, it's amazing you said that because a lot of people say robbery. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I saw Lomachenko cry in the back, you know, when it was over with. And a lot of people felt like he won that fight. When I didn't score the fight, but when I initially watched it and it was over with, I said Lomachenko won that fight 7 rounds to 5. I said that, when I saw it, for me, it was clear. I'm saying right after the fight, I picked Loma to win. I said, I didn't score the fight, but I say, man, I got Loma. I said, I got Loma winning that fight. Because it was a lot of stuff he did that just jumped out to me during the fight. I saw what Devin was doing, but it just jumped out to me. But what happened was I went back and I rewatched it. When I rewatched it, I scored it a draw. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so I said in order for what I didn't agree with, I didn't agree with the unanimous decision. I felt like that if anyone that was going to win this fight, it should have been a split decision. That's the only thing that I have. And then the 116-112 by Dave Moretti, I don't know what he was looking at, but that's how he saw it. But I just felt like that fight was so good and it was so close that no one saw it could have been a split, whether it was for Haney or for Lomachenko. But other than that, that's it. A lot of people felt like it was a robbery. A lot of people saying that if you don't believe that Lomachenko got robbed, you know what I mean, you're biased. Paulie Malignaggi said that that hey, if you gave Devin Haney more than 6 rounds, then you a scumbag and this stuff there, yada 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 yada. You wanted the white guy, you was happy that the white guy lost and stuff like that. So my thing is that's his take on it. But a lot of people feel now that's what he said. I did a video on it. But a lot of people, he said he did an interview with Fight Hype. That's what he said. Exactly what he said. Word for word, literally. So a lot of people feel that Lomachenko got robbed, and they feel that the judges got paid off, Paulie also said that Devin Haney re-signed with Top Rank 2 days before the fight. So the powers that be in boxing felt that, hey, man, we feel good that a young fighter, can continue to hold the belts and win this fight. It'd be better for a young fighter to win it like a Devin Haney versus an older fighter than Lomachenko. And this is why the business of boxing came in and gave the fight to Devin Haney. How do you feel about that? Do you feel the same way, or do you see some kind of validity to that, or you think it's just?
Man, come on, man. Man, come on, man. And I like Paulie, man, but he be tripping sometimes, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. He be tripping. I mean, what does race have to do with anything in this, man? I don't understand why that's the first thing people turn to is race, bro. Like, seriously, it has nothing to do with that. Boxing, bro, it's about the skills. That's what it's about. The skills. Not about race. So at the end of the day, we can throw that away. Now, I haven't heard anything about some signing, re-signing, this guy re-signing.
Right.
When I heard up in the lead up in this fight, they said that this was his last fight with Top Rank. That's what I heard. His last fight with Top Rank. That's it. That's it. So he's free. He gone. You know what I mean? I ain't heard nothing to say, oh, he re-signed 2 days or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the inside. You already know me. I'm in the inside. I listen. I keep my ears open. I ask questions. And he ain't re-signed. That's a lie. And then, as far as the judges go, this is the problem. And this is why everybody's saying robbery, is because of that 116, 112. Now, if it was 115, 113, just like the other two judges, I think it would have been fine. But the fact is that it was 116, 112, and it was the 10th round that Dave Moretti gave to freaking Haney.
He didn't win that round. Yeah, he didn't win that round.
Yes, clearly didn't win. And so that's the funny business right there, where they're saying, wait, how did you call that for Haney?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get it. Lomachenko completely dominated the round. And that's what has everyone puzzled, man. That right there, not the 115, 112.
Mm-hmm.
The 115, 112 to me was perfect. One of those rounds could have swayed it towards Loma or Haney. Could have went to Haney and would have ended up being a draw. But check this out, though. Coach.
Yes, sir.
Why does Lomachenko always lose the last round? Why the hell does Lomachenko always lose the last round?
Man.
Didn't he learn from the damn Lopez fight? He didn't learn?
Yeah.
Bruh, he lost the last round. Finish strong. Start how you finish. You finish how you start. That's how it goes. Everybody know that. You finish strong every time. It don't matter if you think you got something won. You always finish strong. He didn't finish strong. If he would have finished strong, it would have been a draw. No, he wouldn't have won the championship. He wouldn't have won it, but it would have been a draw, and then he probably would have got a rematch. Or he wouldn't have suffered a loss, or Haney would have moved up to 140. Those belts would have been released, and he could have been in line to fight one of those belts and see if he could fight for an undisputed championship against somebody else. That's what could have happened. But he lost the last round, and I'm like, wow, like, what? How?
Yeah.
He did the same thing against damn Lopez. The same thing. And then in the press conference, he admitted to it.
Yeah, he admitted
to
it.
So shameful.
He did admit to it, Tim. The thing is this. This is the thing, right? You know what I don't like about boxing is this. These fans, a lot of fans, they flip flop. Now, for years we've been hearing that Top Rank don't know how to promote black fighters and this and that, yada yada yada, right? And then now Teofimo Lopez comes out and says, hey, Top Rank only want to focus on the black fighters. So you got fans of Teofimo playing the race card, saying that with Top Rank only want to focus on black fighters. So they're playing the race card, his fans. And then the people who hated Top Rank, who said Bob was slave master and this and that, Top Rank plantation, until when Devin Haney went over there, then he wasn't that anymore. Coming from that group, I'm showing the hypocrisy in those guys. Then they say, well, he don't know how to promote the black fighters. So it's like, okay, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Top Rank don't know how to promote black fighters. They don't focus on the black fighters. They only care about Eastern European fighters and Hispanic fighters. But then you have an Hispanic fighter in Teofimo Lopez saying the total opposite. My question is, which one is it?
Which one is it?
Yeah, which one is
Man,
it?
Top Rank is listen, Top Rank is just like any business. They about that money. They're about that bread. That's what they're about. It don't matter black, white, whatever color you are, green, purple. It don't matter, man. If you can fight and you can generate buzz and get in there and win, shoot, they willing to sign you. At the end of the day, man. So I don't agree with all these narratives about Top Rank. I don't agree all these narratives about any of these promotional companies out there, man. Because if you really realize, you got to think about this. Out of all those Olympians that just came through, they all signed with Top Rank.
All signed with Top Rank.
Every last one of them.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean your Keyshawn Davises, you had what's that boy name? Shakur Stevenson, what's this guy name? Abdullah Mason, all these guys. He ain't an Olympian, but I'm just saying there's a lot of brothers with Top Rank. I don't understand what they talking about. I don't get it. You know, you got Troy Isley with them, you know, like so on and so forth, bro. So I don't get it, man. I think that they see what these fighters see, or the brothers see is they see ESPN, the big platform.
Right.
They see the credibility. They see the credibility of Top Rank and how far Top Rank and how long Top Rank's been in the business. Mm-hmm. That's what they see. Top Rank built Floyd Mayweather.
That's
and
true.
Floyd Mayweather, or Pretty Boy, I should say, Pretty Boy. And then, when Pretty Boy went to Money Mayweather, it was a different story. But I'm just saying, they built him. They built Dela Hoya. They built so many different champions out there. And so they have the credibility. So a lot of these young fighters, they say, man, hey, I want to be with Top Rank. I want to go with Top Rank. I want to go with Top Rank and Bob Arum. And as you can see, these guys, they getting built, man. You know, even a guy like Nico Ali Walsh is being built. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been built. You know, he's been taken care of. So I don't know. They can miss me with that, man. Teo, this is what Teo has to understand. Teo has to understand that, bruh, if you wasn't all over the damn place, it'd be easy to promote you. Every time you open your mouth, you put your foot in your mouth. That's the problem, Teo. You put your foot in your mouth every time you speak. Bruh, you have to get it together. You get it together, then everything else will work. You win the fights and look impressive, then everything else will go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? If the product ain't looking good, how the hell can you sell a product when it ain't looking good? Or talking good? You know what I'm saying? Or saying things good or speaking good to the public. This dude, man, I'm telling you, man, he done lost his damn mind, Teo has, and he needs to get it together. He got one of the biggest fights of his career coming up.
Yeah, Josh
one
Taylor.
of the biggest opportunities in Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
If he ain't all the way focused, man, he gonna get stopped. He gotta be all the way focused, dialed in. Forget all the bull crap outside the ring and focus on this fight, man. And he can change the trajectory of his career. Man, you know what I'm saying? Because
I'm not gonna lie to him. I kind of, not to cut you off. I kind of like what's my man name? Who's Teofimo fighting? Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor.
Yeah, man. I kind of like Josh Taylor in this fight, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
I do too. I like Josh Taylor too. And I said if he's not all the way focused, he could get stopped by Josh Taylor. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think Teo can compete, but he got to be all the way focused. He can't be all over the place mentally, man. You know, he be in there. I don't know what he be in there reciting, man. He be in the meetings reciting our scripture. Then he'll put God in it, and then he'll go from God to like talking about the kids, and then just. I mean, he's all over the place. You don't understand. He's all over the place when he's sitting down talking to us. And it's like, bro, like, wait, where are you, man? Like, I had one of my partners had to walk out of the meeting because he was just like, man, I'm not finna sit in here and listen to this garbage.
The thing is this, Tim. I think the worst thing. This is my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think the worst thing that happened to Teofimo was that he beat Vasily Lomachenko. When he has not been the same since he won that fight. Ever since he won that fight, I remember him and his dad went on a world tour. They went to talking about, you remember this? Hold on, Tim, you remember this?
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats.
They would have said that, we motivate the greats. We the first to do it at Undisputed. We motivated Canelo to become Undisputed. They went on tour. We got Maluma, J Balvin, Bad Bunny, J Lo. I'm like, these dudes, they went on a worldwide celebration. Of course, I'm being facetious, but you get what I'm saying, though. They was everywhere. The team takeover, and then, they went to Triller, and Triller won the purse bid, and everybody was happy. And then damn near a year went by. He finally gets in the ring. Eddie Hearn ended up winning the purse bid and getting the fight. He loses to George Kambosos. And man, it did. It was what I noticed with Teofimo is, and there's no accountability. And what I noticed, it seems like there's a sense of entitlement, and there's no accountability. And when you see men who they have no accountability, it's never their fault. It's Timothy Bradley's fault. It's my mother's fault. It's my father's fault. It's the white man's fault. It's the black man's fault. It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. It's everybody's fault but your own. And when you have people who wake up in the morning, look themselves in the mirror every day, and they always find fault in everyone else for why they didn't succeed at something, that's a problem. Because now you're in denial.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. When Teo lost those belts to Kambosos, and Loma fell out, and Haney came in, I mean, Teo's still salty about that. He's still salty about that. And because he lost some titles to Kambosos, I believe Loma, he would have been okay if Loma would have won those titles, but he's not happy that Haney won those titles, because you got to understand, they come from around the same time,
right?
In the amateurs together, and he don't want anybody outdo him or outshine him. So Haney's getting attention. Teo's not getting the attention that he feels that he deserves. Teo also, like you said, when that whole situation happened, it was part Top Rank's fault, and it was part Teo's fault. It was both of them. You know what I'm saying? It was just bad business to begin with. You got to understand that Teo was going to get, and I'm going to tell the story. I'm going to tell the truth. You got to understand that Teo was only going to get, I think it was like, he just got 1.25 or 1.2 or 1.5 for Haney.
Okay.
For Lomachenko. That's how much he got. And he was going to fight George Kambosos for the same amount of money that he just fought Lomachenko for. And he wasn't feeling that at all. And at the time, Top Rank wasn't really budging on it. They asked, he asked me, or they asked me, and I was just like, look, that's a raise, because you're fighting George Kambosos, nobody knows who he is, and you're getting the same amount of money that you're getting from Lomachenko. He was just like, but we are the undisputed champion. We should be getting more money. Yes, he's right. You should be getting more money,
right?
At the end of the day. And maybe the Top Rank and him could have negotiated a little bit more, but Teo already, because I talked to Teo, he already had this deal in motion with Triller.
Yeah.
He already had it in motion already. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to him on the side. He told me, like, hey, look, Triller's going to offer me this much money. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of bread. And, at the time, again, I told him, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, but you do what you do. You know what I mean? Because I know in this business, you don't want to ruffle feathers, man.
Right.
If you ruffle feathers, bro, in this business, when you in bed with one promoter and you ruffle the business stuff, bro, things get a little bumpy, bro. Karma is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And it's going to come back and bite you in the behind. So when he made that move, it was fantastic. It was great. But then COVID happened. Then the date changed. Then another date changed. And then Triller lost their damn mind, don't know anything about boxing. You know what I'm saying? Spend up all their money, or they made a whole lot of money, then they blew it all, because they paying all these fighters crazy money. You know what I'm saying? And then, he loses to Kambosos, and then start going down south for him.
Yeah.
Let's say he wasn't healthy, or whatever it was. It doesn't matter. He fought Kambosos, healthy or not, and he ended up losing, and that's where the downward spiral started happening, bro. From what you just said, from taking that deal, not negotiating with TR, losing to Kambosos, beating Lomachenko, he thought he was on top of the world, just like any other athlete. I just beat the best fighter in the world. Think about that.
Right.
Now I should get $10 million. That ain't how the business go, bro. You ain't gonna get no $10 million. You beat Lomachenko. You beat one guy. You don't make $10 million right out the gate or $5 million right out the gate, bro. You're not that popular. You're not that popular.
I mean, but that's what I was saying, Tim. Like, it was just a lot. We the takeover, baby. This and that. We team takeover, and this how we do it, baby. We can show you guys how it's done. So basically, because Tim, break this down. Check this out. Devin Haney has to be the luckiest guy in the world. For him to be the undisputed lightweight champion of the world right now is a miracle. And I'm gonna tell you where I'm going at with this. He went from being signed, he went from not having the belt to Lomachenko getting elevated to the franchise belt, which I call the French fries belt. And then Devin Haney got elevated to Loma's belt, the WBC Super. Now I don't know what happened with that. Some say he paid for that belt. Whatever, I don't know the backstory on that, but it's a lot about behind that. So, anyways, but he was on the outside looking in. He was with the zone. I even heard that Bob Arum told him. He said, "You know what, kid? You signed to the wrong promoter, and you'll never get those fights over there top rank." But now he ends up leaving the zone, signing with Top Rank. Lomachenko was supposed to be the one to fight George Kambosos, you know what I mean, for the belts. But then Lomachenko decides to stay in Ukraine, and then IE did insert Devin Haney, and he fights George Kambosos twice. So he gets the 3 belts plus the franchise belt that George Kambosos has on top of the WBC super belt that he had, and now he became the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Fought this guy twice, and then he just fought Lomachenko. So do you think that plays a part in why maybe Teofimo is probably feeling some type of way about, well, Bob, he only wants to focus on the black fighters. You can have them. Do you think that play a part in it as well? Like, look how that worked out. There's no way in the hell this guy, Devin Haney, is supposed to be undisputed, being that the path that he had to go down in order to get there.
That's the way God intended it to be to begin with. I always say, man, look, if you stay focused and you stay true to yourself, and you stay close to God, bro, anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. And God made a way out of no way. And Haney ended up getting what he actually wanted and he desired, and what he's always desired. I remember this kid way back in 2012 when he fought on my card with Manny Pacquiao, bro. I remember having a conversation with him, a brief conversation. The kid was focused. He was determined. He was with Eddie Hearns. He had a couple of fights there. Good fights, got paid a lot of money. Understand this kid was 21 years old and he's a millionaire already. Right. 21, a millionaire already, bro. Like, he the youngest one of the crop. Crop, I believe it was 2016 crop or whatever. He's the youngest one. The youngest one. Making tons of money. And now he's the undisputed champion. But yes, there's some hate. There's some jealousy going on the side of Lopez. No doubt about it, bro. Because he is no longer the guy. Just put it this way. You know how Lopez was the guy at TR at 135.
Yeah, he was. That was my favorite fight at 135.
He was the guy. He was the guy. But then you go sign his arch nemesis, who is Devin Haney, who he's had words with, and they never saw eye to eye.
Never saw eye to eye,
Yeah. So, Lopez is gonna get upset about it. The fact that Top Rank signed Haney, and now Haney's getting the opportunity to fight Lomachenko and fight Kambosos for those belts. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't get the chance to do it. There's gonna be some jealousy, man. No doubt about it. And so that's what it is. He's jealous. The attention is not on him. If the attention was on Lopez, he'd be cool. But it's not on Lopez anymore. It's not on him anymore. I'm sorry, it's not. His last 2 performances that he's had were mediocre performances, and if he was to do what he's supposed to do, and I know he got a knockout in his first performance or whatever against a relatively unknown guy, but this last performance that he had, he didn't need a knockout, but he needed to look good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I thought, just like many, I thought that he had lost the fight. He got dropped in the fight, man. Yeah. He got dropped in the fight.
I thought he lost that fight.
Him,
I thought he lost that fight,
making him look silly.
I still thought
he was making him look silly. He was outboxing him the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So he lost a lot of his luster. and he's having a hard time with that.
So he's saying that he's leaving Top Rank and stuff like that. I don't want to really make it about him, but tell me if do you think this is a fair assessment? I see two fighters now. I see two fighters. I see Devin Haney and Terence Crawford. Now this is the crazy part about it. Haney is probably I don't want to use the word hate, but he's disliked by a lot of people. You have Tank Davis fans that don't like him. You have Teofimo Lopez fans that don't like him. You have Ryan Garcia fans that don't like him. Of course, you have, especially now, Lomachenko fans don't like him. And he just have a lot of people that don't like him for whatever the reason may be. He's pillow fist, email champ. He's not a real fighter. You know, they hate this guy. I want to pivot to Crawford. Crawford was hated like that, but it was hated from the same group of people who supports Devin Haney. The same group of people who said that Top Rank was a plantation and Bob Arum was a slave owner and Crawford was a coon and Top Rank Toby because he was signed to Top Rank. But when Devin Haney became a member of Top Rank, signed to them, those very same people who called Crawford all of these racial names for being with Top Rank did not have that same energy for Devin Haney. And I know why. I do understand why, because his father does a lot of interviews with those guys and made a pact with those guys. I do get it. But it just amazes me that now that Crawford is with PBC, according to the reports, if those reports are true, he has a multi-fight deal or in line, they haven't signed yet with the PBC. Now that he's over there with them, do you foresee him still being hated as much in the past, or will some Boston fans still give him love? Or will those same guys who just hated him yesterday say, well, we don't give a damn who we still can't stand him? You know what I mean? What say you about that?
Man, look, I don't know. And I can just tell you this, Crawford don't give a damn either.
No, he doesn't. No, you're right. He
I
doesn't.
don't know, and Crawford don't give a damn, man.
He doesn't.
People gonna say whatever they're gonna create their own narrative, and that's fine. You know, you gotta understand that everybody have an opinion, man. And once you realize that everyone has an opinion, and once you realize that you as an individual person, you have an opinion as well, then you're able to live with it, man. You're able to live with anything anybody ever can say about you, bro. You're able to live with it. Their opinion doesn't mean that they're right. It's just their opinion. It's just the way they view things. They're coming from their point of view, coming from their lifestyle and how they view things, you know, and, you know, you don't have to necessarily respect it, but you definitely gonna hear it.
Yeah.
You know, I get the same type of treatment, bro. The same treatment. Coon this, coon that. Bro, buck dancing. Oh my God, he tap dancing again, the whole so on and so forth like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. It don't bother me at all, man, because I'm living a great life. My family's good. My kids are healthy. I'm blessed to be where I'm at today. I work my behind off. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those people that are saying that either or they work for themselves on the street, doing a little street hustling, or believe it or not, they work for the white man. They work for a white man. Believe it or not, they do. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know that. Those are keyboard warriors, man. We can't be worrying about no keyboard warriors, bro. Yeah. We just gotta keep doing what we do, and that's it, man. And keep being successful, bro. Keep being successful. Keep your head down and keep going.
What say you about after this Crawford Spence is over with? I'm happy. I'm hoping like hell that I'm happy that this fight is really happening, because this is going to add a lot of clarity to a lot of things. People who are Team Spence need to see some clarity and closure. People who Team Crawford need to see clarity and closure. You know what I mean? Once this is over with, what say you about so far the state of boxing? You know, how are you liking? What do you like about 2023 so far this year, Tim? It seems like we're getting some good. Fights. And the Crawford and Spence is the icing on the cake for me. But it seems like we're getting some good fights right now so far. What say you about that?
We're killing it, man. Boxing ain't dead, bro. Boxing ain't gonna never die.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta understand, if you follow the history, man, and you do your research, man, boxing has always been similar to this way. Boxing's been dying since the 80s, dying since the 90s, dying since every year somebody say boxing's dying. No, if you have the right product, if you have the right fighters fighting each other, man, we always gonna be around. There's no doubt about it. So the fact that we now are getting another undisputed championship, and Crawford and Spence. That's another fight that all the fight fans want to see.
Right.
I hope we can get. I'm still being hopeful we can get Usyk and Fury into the ring and get a heavyweight undisputed champion of the world. I mean, man, we are headed in the right direction, bro. I mean, if you got to look at the last 3 years, man, and how many undisputed champions that we've had.
Yeah. Well, the Teofimo, he kind of motivated everyone to do that. You know what I mean? So we got to give credit to him. If it wasn't for him, that wouldn't. No, I'm just joking.
Nah, I'm like,
I'm just
you should have saw my face. I was just like, nah. Lomachenko was the guy that was after the 4 belts. He was the guy that was after the 4 belts. Loma was that guy.
Did you think
it wasn't Teo?
Did you think now that Devin Haney is a free agent? I mean, Bill Haney did clarify on the LDBC channel that they haven't signed anything. You know what I mean? And they haven't re-signed the Top Rank. So that dispels of the myth that the reason why Bob Arum and Top Rank decided to rob Lomachenko for the benefit of Devin Haney because he was a younger fighter and Loma's the older fighter. Now that he hasn't re-signed with them, where do you see what do you see his next move being? Do you think he'll go back to the negotiating table with Top Rank and re-sign with them, or do you think he'll just maybe go back to Eddie Hearn? What do you see?
It just depends on where the money's at. Depends on where the belts are at. If he moves up to 140, Top Rank got a plethora of 140. They got a lot of 140s. They got Josh Taylor, who was the undisputed champion at 140 pounds. If he goes up to 140 and he beats Josh Taylor, dude, the kid will be a 25 or 26-year-old in the Hall of Fame already. He just beat Josh Taylor, who was an undisputed champion. He just beat Lomachenko. Yeah. Come on, man. He went to George Kambosos' hometown in his own country and defended the title. Like, he's already making a case to be in the Hall of Fame already, and he's not even in the prime of his career yet. That tells you where Devin Haney's going to be going. So if Lopez can beat, if Taylor can beat Lopez,
right?
Haney moves up and he faces
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor or Lopez, either or, because I would love to see that fight, and I would love to see that more than. I would love to see
the backstory.
Hey, that's hot. We just put together a fight right there, man. If Lopez somehow wins this fight against Taylor, wins those belts, and then he fights Haney, oh my God. Madison Square Garden, bruh, no doubt about it, they'll sell that thing out because there's so much hate there from one another.
Right.
So much hate.
The backstory.
You have it there.
The backstory, you got. I call Teofimo Lopez Sr. I call him T Diddy because he remind me of P Diddy, all in the videos, singing, dancing. He don't never let his artists be artists. He's supposed to be the executive producer, but he got to be all in the camera. They asked his son a question and he answered it for him and stuff like that. So you got T Diddy, you know what I mean? You got Bill Haney, I call him Dollar Bill. So T Diddy and Dollar Bill. Then you got the Takeover. Then you got Devin the Dream Haney. You get what I'm saying? And just that backstory.
You got his daddy. No, you got his daddy too.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said Dollar Bill. I call Bill Haney Dollar Bill. So we got Bill Haney. So he gonna be talking trash. You know what I mean? They got their group. They roll with online on YouTube. And then Teofimo, he gonna be talking trash, bro. Like just the backstory of that alone, I think that's gonna make it a big fight. If I'm Devin Haney, this what I say to provoke it. I say, dude, you was never really undisputed. I was the real undisputed. If you look in the history books, now you were ESPN undisputed. You had the French fries belt. Like I would literally antagonize him. They need to hire me, man. If they hire me, man, just to Tim, I'm telling you, just to take Brian Custer's spot just for one day, Brian. Brian, I got this, baby boy. I got this. Hey, look here, man. Now, Teofimo sources say that you really wasn't undisputed. You had a French fries belt, a special designation belt. What say you about that? Because Devin Haney, according to what the sources say, he is the real undisputed champion, and you were the fake undisputed champion. So what say you about that? I just to spice it up. You know what I mean? Hey, chill. Just to spice it up a little bit, Hey, I'm trying to tell you, but just to spice it up a little bit, boy, I'm trying to tell you, I have Teofimo 30. He'll be 30 hot. What say you about, see, we got Cool Boy Steph and Inoue the Monster fight coming up, I think right before Crawford Spence, like a few days before or something like that on a Tuesday. What you think about that fight?
Good fight.
Too close. It's too close to call because Styles make fights.
Nah, I don't think it's too close to call. I think the lack of power of Cool Boy, and I see his technique kind of fade as the fight goes on. I think Inoue being the sharper puncher, he's going to be the aggressor, of course. I think he's just going to be too much. I think he's going to be too much, man. This is a guy that carries his technique and his power all the way through the fight. It's not like it's just like the first half of the fight. It's all the way through the fight. I think he just has too much. I think he just has too much for Cool Boy. I really do. I think he has too much for Fulton. It will be interesting early on. Fulton is quick. He does have some good, I would say, some good reactions and good counter-punching ability. But after seeing Inoue, man, it's just too much, man. He's just too sharp with his tools. And I think he's going to stop him. I really do. I think he's going to stop him. He's going to catch him. He's going to stop him.
Damn, but I ain't gonna lie, man. If he stops Steph, if he can stop Cool Boy, I'll be shocked. I'll be like, because Cool Boy has very, very good. He has excellent footwork, but Inoue has good footwork as well. You know what I mean?
His balance is no joke.
Yeah, his balance.
His balance is no joke. His balance is no joke. His footwork. He don't waste a whole lot of move. He don't have a whole lot of moving and wasted movement.
He don't waste punches neither.
No, he doesn't. He's sharp. He's sharp with it too. So he cold on the counter too. Cold on the counter, cold punching in between. And again, Cool will have some success, but again, it's that power, man. It's that power, that snap, that it's just different, man. Like I remember thinking that I was an athlete going into the ring against Pacquiao, and it just felt different. He just felt it was just like a lot of tension in his punches, bro. Like tension. Every single round, a lot of tension. And when he would throw shots, it was like bullets, bro. It was like, poof, poof, poof. I can literally hear him whistling past my ears. Like that. Yeah. Those are the type of punches that Inoue is going to be throwing, bro. He's going to be throwing every single round.
You know what, Tim? A lot of people, I have a couple more for you. A lot of people felt that Devin Haney was going to get robbed. The pivot back to Haney was going to get robbed against Lomachenko. And then those very same people, when Devin Haney got the benefit of the doubt and got the decision, a lot of people were shocked. But it just goes to show you, judges, what do I don't know. I don't know if you know the answer to this. But what type of training do judges have to go through in order to be chosen for a fight? Do they, like during the fight, do they wear earplugs? Or when judges are getting chosen throughout your career, do you know, hey, okay, I'm fighting this guy. I know what these judges like. They like fighters more who fights on the front foot and put the effort in versus these judges. They pretty much appreciate the sweet science a little bit more and being very defensively sound and stuff like that. Do fighters change their style according to who they know who they know the judges are going to be for the fight? Because you know what certain judges look for and how they're going to score it based on what they see?
Damn right, I did. You'll be a fool not to.
Okay.
I did. You'll be a fool not to do that because you got to understand that, like, they have preference. They have preference. These judges, like, you understand the rules of how to judge a fight. Of course, you know the knockdowns or whatever, and 1 point goes to the other guy. So, like 10-point must system. A knockdown happens, now it's a 10-8 round or whatever. Another knockdown happens, it's a 10-7 round. If you're winning the first half of the round and you get knocked down, it's instead of an 8-10 round, it's a 9-10 round, not in your favor, but for the other guy, like, you understand that, right?
Yeah, I understand.
But then you have effective aggression that goes along with that. Effective aggression. Then you have defense. They also give points for defense. They also look at defense, effective aggression, knockdowns, and it was one more that they always look at effective punches. Effective punching. Also another criteria. So what I used to do is I used to go that once I got my judges and I know the judges from if I'm going to Vegas on a fight and I know the judges that they have and they usually use for big fights, I'll go and I'll go on BoxRec and I'll see how they judge certain fights. I'll look at certain fights, you know what I mean? I know the styles of the guys and I'll see who they favor. Oh, he favors the boxing. Okay, cool. Most of the time when I remember when I was in England, I had a Mexican judge. A Mexican judge when I fought in England against Junior Witter, I said, you know what? It's a Mexican judge. I got to pressure. Right. I got to pressure. And on the back end of that fight, I pressured. And I ended up winning that fight by 1 point because of the Mexican judge, believe it or not.
Wow.
Because of the Latin judge, I won the fight. And I should have won it by a couple of points or whatever, but because of his style, they like pressure fighters.
Right.
Boom. I'm in there. Pressure fighter. It was weird. It was one time that was weird because I had Julie Letterman. She liked the boxer. I think she had picked what fight was it? Oh man, it was a Bernard Hopkins fight. And he was facing somebody. I forget who it is off the top of the head. And I'm like, and I studied her fight and Bernard won, and it was like somewhat of a controversy. A lot of people didn't think that Bernard won the fight, but she had picked Bernard. And I was like, oh, she likes boxers. Oh, okay. So she judged my fight. I believe it was with Chavez, Diego Chavez. She judged my fight. So I was pressuring a bit, but then I was boxing off the back foot, and I was countering, and and I was lighting them up, bro. I won that fight, no doubt about mine. I won that fight without a doubt. Many people watching thought I won the fight, but the fight ended up being a draw. To get along, Julie Letterman, who likes the boxer, she the one that made it a draw pretty much. Made it a draw because she didn't give me the rounds that I was boxing. So it's hit and miss, my dude. Sometimes you can nail it, sometimes you don't. But I would tell fighters out there, if you can know your judges, if you win big fights, if you know your judges and you know what type of style that they look for, you should try to do it and implement it in the fight. It will definitely help you.
I remember what you told me. This is the last question before you go. I remember what you told me last time you was on the show. You said that the guy whose name is on the card first is the A side. And I noticed that the guy with the Spence Crawford fight, Spence's name is on there first. And I remember when I was in Omaha, I was actually riding, just sitting outside in the parking lot with Bud. Sat in this thing. I think we was in this car. No, we wasn't in this car. We was outside. And I told him, what is it? I asked him, I said, what is your mindset when you go into a fight? And you know how Bud is. You're like, well, I just take what the fighter gives me. You know what I mean? Read him. He didn't really say much, but he was like, I read him very well. And I pretty much can figure out what is it that they're trying to do. You know what I mean? After filling them out a little bit, once I figure out what they're trying to do, then I know what to take away, what I'm gonna be able to take away and stuff like that. Errol Spence is the house fighter. Terence Crawford is not a PBC fighter. He's walking into the Lion's Den, fighting Errol Spence for the first time in Vegas. I think Bud fought in Vegas before, but I don't think Spence has fought in Vegas before. But I could be wrong, but I'm just saying since he's been a headliner and stuff like that. What is the mindset that Crawford must have going into this ring? Because I'm pretty sure, the referees are going to be, they're going to lean probably more towards the A side, PBC event, Showtime event. You got an outsider coming in. What is his mindset? Judges, what is it? What should be his mindset knowing that he's walking into the Lion's Den?
What it always is. What it always is. Knock that motherfucker out. What it always is. That's Crawford. That's the difference between Crawford and everybody. It don't matter what round. If he got time, he trying to knock you out. He ain't playing with you.
Yeah.
He ain't finna sit here and dance with you for 12 rounds. If he can knock you out, he gonna knock you out. I remember when he fought against Benavidez, the older brother.
Right.
Not the big one, the younger one, the younger looking
Jose.
Yeah.
That's the older one.
He looking for the knockout.
He the one that played. He played in Rocky. I mean, Creed.
Yeah, I mean, he hit him with that uppercut. I think it was 11th or 12th round. He hit him with that uppercut, man, and it was all she wrote.
12th round.
Yeah, 12th round. So he's always looking for the knockout, man. Always. Everybody want to know who he looked at when they said when he was like, "Am I down or up?" You know, he looked at me, right?
No, for real.
Yeah, he looked at me, bro.
Yeah, I didn't
he
know
looked
that.
at me. Everybody saying, "Oh, who he looking at? Who he looking at?" No, he looked at me and he said, "Am I up?" I said, you ain't up. I was like, "Shit, hey, Charles Porter doing his thing."
Yeah, he said, how? You know what I mean? I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, how?
Yeah. So
how? I said, I just looked at him like this. I said, I put my finger down like this, like, you know, facing down. You know how you put thumbs up? I put it down like that. I said, you down, dog. You down. And he came out, man, and brick, and it was all over, bro. It was all over. He turned it up.
Man.
Unreal. But it was me.
I didn't know that because
he looked at me.
Because he was looking around in the corner and Bomac was like, "Bud, pay attention, Bud, pay attention." And then Saul was like, "Yeah, you're down, you're down." They said you're down. He said, "How?" Then he looked around. So when he was looking around, he was looking at you. I was trying to figure out what he was looking at because he wasn't looking at his trainers when he looked around.
No, he looked at me. He looked at me. Man, look, all these fighters, it's crazy, man, because all these fighters look at me, bro. I don't know why, but they all look at me. And all I do is I look at them like, I just put my eyes open like this. And Bud at that time, he was the only one that asked me, like, am I up or down like that? And I'm like, shit, you down. Yeah. You want to know? You down, bro. And he just turned it up. But I had, like, Nico. Nico this past week was looking at me. You know what I'm saying? And he was looking at me like I was supposed to give him advice. I'm like, bro, I can't help you. Like, I'm looking at you like, huh? What you want? I can't tell you nothing. You better listen to your corner.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these fighters, they look over at me because I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their eyes. I'm looking at their demeanor. I'm looking at both corners. I'm going back and forth. I'm looking at the other corner, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? All right, got his arms up on the ropes. Nah, he looking a bit tired, you know, because I got to observe. But it was crazy to me when Crawford looked over at me, and the first time he's ever done that, first time, he just said, man, he looked at me, and I said, huh? He said, I'm up. And I was like, I read his mouth. I said, no, you down. You down on the scorecard, buddy. And after that, it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that. So
where does Lomachenko go from here, in your opinion, Tim?
130.
Go down to 130?
He can go down to 130. Yeah, because he can't beat anybody else at 135. He can't beat the top guys there. He ain't gonna beat no Shakur, and he for damn sure ain't gonna beat no Tank. So, and he's not gonna fight Tank. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. So why don't he go down to 130 and try to get all the straps there? I mean, that makes sense. They got a lot of young guys, man. Morataya is another guy that's a beast. You got Keyshawn Davis at 35, you know, another beast.
Yeah.
You got Dela Mason, like Dela all Mason. These guys, and Dela Mason is younger, but there's a lot of talent at 135 that will give Lomachenko a run for his money. So drop down to 130. You want that undisputed championship of the world, bro? See if you can do it at 130, not 135.
Man, and Tim, man, thank you so much for taking the time out to call. I know you took the time out. Is there anything else that you want to say? Any parting words, Tim, before I let you
go? Just everybody keep my motherfucking name in your mouth. Keep your name in your mouth. Hey, bro. It don't. Hey, you already know it, man. You already know. Hey, it don't matter whether you're talking good or bad. It's all love, baby. At the end of the day, you may not think you a fan, but you are a fan.
You sound like Don King. Don King said, all publicity is good publicity, baby. As long as they're talking about you. As long as they're talking about you.
All love, Coach. Well, shoot, man, it's been cool, man. Thanks for reaching out, B. All right?
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to Timothy Bradley, man. Tim, thank you so much, brother.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.